So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben.
Congratulations to Latitude Realty, our newest broker in the Rebus University's Preferred Partners Program. Brokers like Ameriteam Realty, Dunes Properties, Impact Real Estate, Long and Foster. Yes, Long and Foster with 11,000 agents in multiple states. Plumtree Realty, Real Estate Professionals, Realty Ohio, Remax Advantage, Remax Essential, Agent Strong. These brokers have taken it upon themselves to get their agents significant discounts on all of the 12 Rebus University courses. Their agents are learning from the best and producing like maniacs. If you're an agent at one of these companies, go to rebusuniversity.com right now and start learning today. If you want unpublished pricing for your agents, like these brokers have done, go to hybendigital.com/teams or simply call Catherine Brower at 843-749-9900. That's 843-749-9900. Your agents will be impressed.
And now for the review of the day.
All right, got a review here on rebusuniversity.com from Matt Lang. He took the Certified Listing Agent course. Watched in detail 8 of the world's top agents do their listing appointments. He says this. He said, I was lucky enough to stumble across Pat's podcast shortly after I got my real estate license. The knowledge I gained in a short amount of time is priceless. I only have had my license for 7 months, but I feel like I've gotten years of experience listening to Pat interview successful agents. Each podcast makes me more hungry to surpass the top agents in my market. I remember hearing other agents talk about having 10 plus pending at a time. I would tell myself, that will be me soon. Well, this past week, I've had a total of 14 properties pending, with 3 of them closing last week. I know real estate is the long game, but I believe I have made up a couple of years for sure listening to Pat's podcast. The Certified Listing Agent course was worth every penny. This course gave me an extreme amount of confidence to take every listing that I want in the future. Never again will I not have a plan going into a listing appointment. My goal is to be the #1 listing agent in my market in the next 2 years. Thanks for all the help. 5 stars. Matt Lang. Hey, thanks, Matt. Sounds like you should be a guest on the show. Reach out to us and be happy to talk to you about it.
Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast. So give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first, and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. All right, Rockstar Nation, I got a great guest for you, Mr. Anthony Manzon. Like Manzon, like hands-on. This guy's killing it. Dude has taken the Keller Williams Bold course 14 times. He is a walking, talking machine when it comes to real estate and closing deals and doing what everybody listening should be doing. This is the guy you want to emulate. So I'm excited for this interview today. So without further ado, from Chula Vista, California, Mr. Anthony Manzon. Anthony, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars.
Thank you, Pat, for having me. It's a dream come true to be on here talking to you live.
Hey, buddy, why don't you give us a little rundown on yourself so we can get to know you better?
Okay, first of all, I got licensed at the age of 25 years old. I'm currently 29 years old now, so I've been in the business about 4.5 years. First year in the business, I was the Rookie of the Year. Last year, I was awarded National Association of Realtors 30 Under 30. 14-time Bold graduate, like you mentioned earlier, and proud to say we're the #1 team in Keller Williams Chula Vista right now.
Awesome, dude. Okay. First of all, I love rookies. I love people rookie of the year. I always have people, that are brand new in the business reaching out to me all the time, asking me who they should mentor. And I'm like, don't mentor the guy or the girl that's been in business 30 years and is killing it in your market. Mentor the rookie of the year from the year prior. I was like, that's what you need to focus on. And that will give you the belief and the know-how of exactly what you need to do. So let me step back into that time frame with you, and talk about your first year and how you did it, and talk about where you're at now. But before we do that, let's get into some nitty-gritty. Anthony, what is your ECI, buddy, your ego commission income?
Yeah, I've always wanted to answer this question after listening to your podcast for so many years. My ego commission income is $905,000 last year.
Sweet. And what's your profit margin on that?
Our profit margin is 30%, roughly 30%.
So you took on about 300 grand, right?
Yeah.
What'd you do before real estate?
Ooh, I'm so glad you asked. Actually, real estate was actually my first job I ever had, and I was a breakdance teacher. I used to just teach dance classes.
Would you make your best year breakdancing?
So I made about $25 a class I taught, and I maybe taught 2 classes a week. So
So what's that? 50 times 20? 50 times 50. So that's not much.
Nothing. Yeah, basically, I was living at home with my mom. My parents paid for my bills and stuff. And, when I proposed to my wife, it was time to be a man. And that's when I got into real estate.
Yeah, I mean, that's like you barely making $3,000 a year. I mean, you were just, that must have been a labor of love. And then you proposed to your wife and you said, honey, I'm going to get a real job.
Yep, it was time to take care of her. My wife is a super overachiever. Graduated high school 2 years earlier. 2 years early. She was 16 when she graduated. When I asked her dad permission to marry me, he kind of was like, "Let's see what she has to say." And
it was just no. What do you do for a living, son? He's like, I'm a professional break dancer.
Yeah, I used to perm my hair. I used to have a fro and everything. And I realized I had to take care of her. And so that's when I got into real estate.
Wow, that's amazing, dude. And that's great too, because, I think a lot of parents are going to judge you. You know what I mean? You walk in there with a fro and you're like, I'm a break dancer and I love dancing, and there's nothing wrong with, doing something that you love. But at the end of the day, the pops was like, well, and then you're like, he probably, that doubt, right, is what motivated you. So I'll show you. And then here you are 4 years later making 300 grand a year, probably making more than him.
Got to prove myself every single day. And when I proposed to my wife, that's not when I decided to get into real estate. It was when the wedding was a year away and we had no money. And I was desperate. I was ready to go back to school to do whatever I could. And then real estate presented itself. And we spent our $5,000 saved in the bank, went all in with real estate. 4 months before the wedding, we had no money. And I was just like, I got 4 months to pay for this wedding. Went all in, took Bold for the first time 4 months before the wedding, was able to pay off the wedding all cash, went on 2 honeymoons. So it was a lot of pressure, and that momentum carried us forward to today.
That's beautiful, dude. Okay, so let's talk about your first year, which is only 4 years ago. How many houses did you sell that first year?
First year in the business, I sold 13 houses for about 125 in GCI.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So you probably made, like 70 grand or so. So it wasn't, right? It wasn't bad. Especially coming from 3,000 a year. So what, tell me about that. So how'd you do that? How'd you go from zero to hero? I mean, that's not bad, right?
Yeah. So, I met with my team leader. Yeah, I met with my team leader thinking real estate was just a part-time job. After that, she fired me up, said the rookie of the year last year made $120,000. And I was just like, I was desperate for an opportunity. I was ready to go back to school, be a computer engineer or something. That's something I'd be miserable at, by the way. I'm a very low C on the disc, and so attention to detail is the worst for me. I was ready to be miserable for the rest of my life just to be able to provide for my wife. And when she said that, the rookie of the year last year made 120, I was like, this is it. I'm going all in. And so from the moment I got my license, I did 5 open houses a week. I was working 24 hours a day. I did as many open houses as I could, and I just basically juggernauted my way through my first year in the business.
You just worked your ass off, right? I mean, 5 open houses. How do you do 5 open houses? Only 4 Sundays.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, I was thinking 5 a month. You're saying 5 a week. Yep.
Oh, yeah, 5 a week. 5 a month's not enough.
How did you, like, tell me about this?
Yeah, so in my first year in the business, I did 12 buyers and 1 listing. So a lot of my business was doing open houses for other agents. My strategy, which we still do today on the team, is I pull up the MLS, I look for vacant listings, I look for agents that are out of area codes, because I know they're not going to want to do their open house, and I just say, hey, I'm only doing open houses all the way until this house gets sold. Can you commit to me for the next 5 days and just keep reserving that open house? And sometimes I'd stay at an open house for a month or 2 until I got buyers, until it sold. So I would just stay at vacant open houses that are staged and look nice, and I would just stay there as long as I could.
And you would just put up signs, right? Unadvertised, whatever, just put up signs and be like, this is open. What hours?
Yeah, well, so on weekdays, I would do anywhere from like 3 to 6 on weekdays, and then weekends was like 12 to 4. It wasn't uncommon on a Sunday that I would do a 9 to 5 open house. Like I literally was there all day. I put up a lot of signs. So in my first 6 months, I was maybe only using 6 signs. And then after my first 6 months is when I bought 30 signs. And so I, by myself, was putting up 30, 35 signs every single time. And now with our team, we actually have 240 open house signs, which is pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah, that's extreme hustle, and it's paying off, right? I mean, big time. So, all right, Anthony. So where are you now? Like, how many houses did you sell last year?
Last year, we sold 67 houses for just over 30 million.
Okay, cool. And what's your team look like?
Right now, the team, it's me. I'm the listing agent on the team. We have 2 buyer's agents, and we have 4 support staff on our team.
Okay, and what do those 4 support staff do?
Yeah, so Jessica, she's our executive assistant. She handles all the marketing, makes sure everything goes into the MLS, handles everything that needs to be done. We have Mike. He is our operations manager. He's in charge of building the team and basically building where our team is going, while the salespeople focus on building the team right now in terms of sales. And then James, he's our escrow manager. So for all of our agents, you only have 5 jobs on our team. It's lead generate, lead follow-up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts, and scripts and role play. Everything else is leveraged out to our support team. So basically, once our team puts it into escrow, James, he takes over, he goes on the inspections, he negotiates the request for repairs, and he basically takes it over so we can have a clean escrow. If we need quotes from our contractors, he handles that. And then my wife, she's the last support staff on the team. She also partners with Mike to help build where our team is going.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Bold, right? So if your guys aren't with Keller Williams, then you know that you might not know about Bold. Basically, it's a
It is a boot camp type course where the agents will sit in a course once a week and essentially be told what to do, right? Which a lot of people thrive under. So the old adage of sit in a corner and do what you're told. And it, obviously involves the philosophy of you reap what you sow. So you're going to reap the rewards. It's going to work if you put in the effort. So talk to me about, Anthony, why you have taken this boot camp 14 times. First of all, why did you take it 14 times? A lot of people might take it one time and be like, that was great.
Well, in the opening video on step 1, Gary Keller opens in his video by saying, I think you should take bold 10 times. And I'm a brand new agent at the time. I know nothing about real estate. I have a wedding in 4 months. So if Gary Keller, the owner of the biggest company in the world, says take bold 10 times, I'm going to take it 10 times. So it was kind of like my voyage to get to 10. I hit 10 bolds maybe a year and a half ago. And I realized that by being in bold, I was in a clearer mindset. I was happier. My production was higher. So for my family, my clients, and my team, they deserve me being in bold rather than me not being in bold. So it is a part of our team's culture. All of the members on our team have a journey to take bold 10 times as well. One of our new buyers agents on the team, he's been in the business 1.5 years, and he just graduated his 8th bold in 1.5 years, and his name is Joe Ordinario.
Yeah, we got to get him on the show. I mean, 8 times in a. I mean, did you have to travel to other parts of the country in order to take it that many times, or is it in your area that much?
Yeah, so luckily we're in San Diego, and we've had it back to back four, sometimes 5 times a year, depending on when it lays out. So yeah, 4 times a year it comes to San Diego, and we're just back to back. I just graduated bold 2 days ago, and the next bold session is already in 2.5 weeks. So our whole team's getting ready for that.
Okay, so for people who haven't taken it, give me a synopsis of like what you're doing, what you're learning, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so bold is about life choices, improving your life so you can be a better salesperson or be better at your job. So it's about, it's not just about what's the new best script, what's the script that's going to win buyers or sellers in today's market. Because if you're not fulfilled as a person, then those scripts mean nothing. You have to be happy, you have to be energized, you have to be passionate when you go to work. And through bold, it's just a different perspective on how to see life through your lens, and how you can be better at what you do, and how ultimately you can affect the people around you through the choices you make and the thoughts that you have. And so we took bold's direct culture from bold, and we implement that on our team. So in bold, you're not allowed to say the word but or the word try. We eliminate those from our vocabulary.
Wow, let me slow you down. You can't say the word but, and you can't say the word try. So what happens when you eliminate them?
So the reason why you eliminate them is, let's say, for instance, Pat, we're talking, and I say, hey, Pat, I think you're a really cool guy, but whatever I say after that, the first thing is automatically eliminated. So we replace the word but with and. Yes. So you know what, Pat, you're a really cool guy, and you're amazing at what you do. So that we would replace but with that. And we don't say, I'll try to be on time, because try automatically gives you that opportunity to get out there.
Fail, right?
Exactly. So it's either you will or you won't, and we just eliminate try altogether. So no one on our team says that.
That's awesome. What else? Like give me some specific. Let's say someone's riding in Tupelo, Mississippi right now. They're driving down the road, and they're like, okay, that's all well and good, but tell me exactly, when you come out of there, like, what is the homework that you have to do over the next 6 days before the next class?
So a lot of us growing up in society, what's that number that everybody wants to hit in terms of your income? It's always $100,000, right? Like, everyone's like, if I get to $100,000, I've made it in this world. Well, who set that boundary of $100,000? Bold has different activities to help you push your financial thermostat to create the perfect life by design. And so there's an activity that we do where, what does your perfect world look like, and what do you own? What are some things that you have? And then you take a 24-hour action step, and you move forward towards that.
So what's the homework? What exactly are you doing? Who you calling? That sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So like, for instance, I mean, the normal stuff is, calling for sell by owners, calling expireds. Those are things that I wouldn't say are exclusive to Bold, because there's other training programs that tell you, to call expireds. These are the scripts. I wouldn't say that expireds for sell by owners and the scripts is what Bold is about, simply because there's so many other trainings that offer specialties in those areas. Bold is more about, it's like a life course, more of like, what's that one
Like
everybody's doing?
Landmark education.
Landmark.
Yeah, Landmark.
Exactly. So it's like Landmark, but for real estate, basically.
Right.
So,
But
yeah.
it is an action oriented thing, right? I mean, like you don't. I mean, part of it, because I took it, and I remember, we did some cold calling right then and there on the spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing is to get you to move forward. Like right now, currently, based on what you've learned, how many hours a day are you lead generating?
Right now, we're lead generating consistently about 3 hours a day.
And so what time do you do that?
So we get on the phones at 9 o'clock. So everyone on the team shows up 8:15. We get in, check our emails, and then from 8:30 to 9 o'clock is when we're doing our script practice and role play. So everybody on the team script practice and role plays together, 8:30 to 9. And then from 9 to 12 is all lead generation. And then 12 to 1 is lunch. Then 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. It's either appointments or continuous lead generation if you don't have an appointment at that time.
Wow. And then who are you calling?
Who am I calling? So we're doing a lot of just listed, just sold, open house invites, pretty much anyone we can get a hold of. That's going to be the bulk of our morning calls. And then we do our follow-ups with our leads from, our onlines or past open houses that we've hosted.
Okay. And what tools are you using? Like, what tools are you using to make sure this happens?
Yeah, so we're using Mojo triple line dialer. My new favorite tool that we've been using is Follow Up Boss, which is the CRM. I didn't know that with Follow Up Boss, since we started using it, you can actually text out of that CRM and call straight from the CRM and email from it, which is amazing, because all I have to do is I hook my headphone up to the computer, I just click on the phone number, and I don't even have my cell phone with me anymore. I do all the calling through the computer. So it's just so easy. It records the call, takes the notes, and yeah, Follow Boss has been a big.
So let me get this straight. So you you got your headphone on, right? Bluetooth headphone or whatever. It links up to the computer. You hit a button on the computer. It dials the number. It dials 3 numbers at once. Whoever picks up first, you start talking. You talk. It transcribes it.
Oh no! So that one's for Mojo. So you're talking about the Mojo triple line dialer.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about Follow Up Boss.
Right.
So Follow Up Boss isn't a triple line dialer.
Okay.
It calls for me. It doesn't transcribe it.
It's a single line dialer. Okay. So it records it, and then it takes the recording, and it what does it do with it?
And it just places it like as if it was on the timeline of the person that we're calling.
Yeah.
So if I want to listen to the call, I can listen to it again, or I could just type. I just type, whatever I said, like,
Some
hey.
notes. Yeah. Do you have to get the people's permission? You have to say this is a recorded call.
You know what? Great question. So that's a feature that we don't use that much, is the recording call. I just use it straight to call out of there. So I think you have to manually turn it on. That's not why I'm excited about Follow Boss, is that recording feature. In fact, I think listening to the conversation would take too long again.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that I can just click on their phone number and it just calls them automatically. I don't have to dial anything.
Type them a text right there. You don't need your phone. You could, and it records that too, right? So if you text them,
yeah,
or email them, it shows right there in Follow Up Boss.
Yeah. So, it records all that good stuff, and it just makes it so much easier, because we've experimented with so many different CRMs, and Follow Up Boss was the best one.
All right, guys. Here at Real Estate Rockstars Podcast and Rebus University, we have been working on a top secret, incredible program for all real estate agents in the world. And I am so excited about this. This is going to be the best thing we have released yet. Now, we're not opening the doors here for this project until July 9th, but I wanted the Rockstar Nation to get instant access, right? I wanted to make sure that they were guaranteed one of the first 200 spots. We only have 200 spots in the beginning here, and I wanted to give that to the Rockstar Nation. So if you would like an early bird VIP to this new project that we're doing, I can guarantee you first notice to get a spot on July 9th. Just go to futureofrealestatetraining.com/earlybird or text the word early to 444-999. First 200 people only. I'm so excited about this, and I'll guarantee you special VIP treatment and early access by jumping on the list for this project. Hope to see you on there.
What phone apps are you excited about?
You know, to be honest, I'm not a big tech geek, even though I'm pretty young, I would say. I just use the phone basically for texting and phone, and Follow Boss is pretty much as good as it gets.
So talk to me about 30 under 30, right? There's a lot of people that listen to this show that are under 30, and you know, they would dream of becoming a 30 under 30 finalist. I know they get thousands of entries. Like, how did you win?
How did I win? So it's always been a dream of mine. It's been on my vision board for the past couple years. Advice I would give is apply every year so you learn the process. And remember that when you apply for 30 under 30, you're basically you're reaching out to a magazine article. So they want people with good stories. My story, which I capitalize on, is I went from dance teacher to real estate agent. And of course, for magazines, they would like to hear that story. So if you're applying, know what your story is and create your whole application around your story, because the magazine wants a good story. They don't just want to know somebody that's boring and does a lot of deals. They want to see adversity. They want to see a story behind it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So what would you say a failure that you've made in the last 4.5 years, right? Because you're going pretty fast. I have to imagine that you're, falling down once in a while. What's a failure you've made that you've learned from, and what can our listeners learn from that?
I would say a big failure I've made is not building the business with the end in mind. So a lot of us in the business are building for what's working right now. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody's like, I'm going to hire an assistant. However, I can't pay for her right now. So I'm going to offer her $500 for every deal we close. Mm-hmm. That works great right now. What happens when you're doing 100 or 200 transactions? You got to take that money away from them at that point.
Yeah, right. At that point, you make them, because 200 transactions and make $100,000 a year, and you're like, you're making too much. I can hire 3 of you.
Exactly. So I would say building with the end in mind would be one of them. We've had to constantly keep rebuilding our systems because we were thinking, what's working right now? What's scalable right now? And we're working that. However, once we start bringing on more team members, we hire more talent, we have to change the whole thing. And so in our business, we're constantly evolving just because we didn't build with the end in mind. Now that we know that and we've understood that about ourselves, now we're really building our system with the end in mind to accommodate as our team changes, how the market continues to change, and how our team grows. For instance, like commission splits and that kind of stuff. Okay. And so what kind of changes are you seeing in the market now? Oh, man. Well, in Chula Vista, I'm honestly seeing a big slowdown already. When I was in Bold last session, our Bold coach said the first sign of a shift that you see is not days on market. The very first sign of a shift is less multiple offer situations. So makes sense. When I heard that, I never heard that before, and it makes so much sense because you think about it. I mean, in the past, let's say 2 weeks, let's say I had 10 listings hit the market, and all of them sold over asking price and sold in 5 days. However, I only got one offer on each one, and I had like 80 people show it. On paper, that looks amazing. However, on my end, I'm saying, whoa, how could this property only get one offer when I could bet last year this property will easily get 5 or 6 offers on it? And so a lot of our properties right now are still selling above asking price in a short amount of times. However, we used to average 5 or 6 offers on each property. Now we're getting closer to 1 or 2.
Wow. So simple economics are supply and demand. Do you think it's because there is less supply, meaning less listings for sale or less good ones for sale? Or do you think it is less demand, like less buyers are out there because the interest rates have gone up a little bit? And you know, what do you think? Less supply, less demand?
I think, well, supply is obviously very low, so I don't think it has to do with supply. I think just buyers are kind of
more supply, I should say. More supply.
Yeah.
I screwed that up. Yeah, more supply, less demand. Pick one.
Yeah, you're good. No, supply is still very low. I mean, our days on market, I think we're at 1.5 months of inventory right now, which is still super, super low. I think buyers are just getting scared to jump in. There's an area here in San Diego. I won't say it's not the best neighborhood in the world. However, we had a buyer of ours just purchase a home out there, and it was only like $500,000, but because of interest rates, their monthly payment was like $3,700. And I always think to myself, $3,700 is what it costs now to live in that neighborhood. That's just way too high now. And of course, it translates to the better neighborhoods cost more than that now at this point, because our average price in Chula Vista right now is about $500 to $525. So with monthly payments getting so high, people are getting less likely to just pull the trigger.
Interesting. You know, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? And eventually, you reach a threshold with everybody, whether it's a threshold on what the house is worth, a threshold on what their payment is, which is a result of both of those things, what the house is worth and what the interest rate is. So, you know, at some point, everyone's like, well, I can't afford that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, interesting. Well, very interesting. So, so let's talk about our flagship question here, Anthony, and that is this: if I took you and put you on a deserted island, but on that island, right, I had I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I had all of the 30 under 30.
Ooh.
2000. Were you 17 or?
Yeah, 17.
All of the 30 under 30 2017s, right? And I took all the people there, and I put them on an island. It's not deserted. There's a bunch of people. There's a lot of commerce. There's the people buying and selling real estate. I gave you each $1,000, a computer and a phone. And the only thing that the 30 of you have in common is that nobody knows anyone, right? So you know not a soul. They know not a soul. Whoever sells the most houses in a 6-month period on this island gets $10 million. How is Anthony going to bring home $10 million for his wife and his family and his father-in-law, who didn't believe in him? Throw it in his face and say, here you go, Pop, take $1 million. This is chump change to me. How are you going to get that?
Great question, man. That's a tough one. Well, I'm very good face-to-face, better than I am on the phone. I do practice my scripts every day, and I'd say I'm pretty good on the phone, and yet I know I have higher conversion face-to-face. So with that $1,000, I would probably throw a big charity event. I'd partner up with like a nonprofit organization, build through them a big event. Say that any transactions or referrals or recommendations that come through that event will donate 10 to 25% of it to the nonprofit organization, give them the opportunity to build it out and leverage through them, create a big event as possible, and get as many recommendations there at the event.
Wow, and you would just go full out at that one event.
Yeah, I would say so. And I mean, I do a lot of door knocking, cold calling now that doesn't take any money. So I would just build through them and make it a win-win. I know they're going to want to bring people. They're going to want to bring recommendations because, of course, it helps their nonprofit as well. And it's a win-win. So I think that's a money answer right there. I'm going to win.
I love it. I love it, buddy. All right. Well, Anthony, as you know, everybody that comes on the show brings a special gift that they give to the Rockstar Nation. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put this. Let's see. I think you could handle this name. hybendigital.com/ Anthony Manzon. That's hybendigital.com / Anthony Manzon. It's Manzon. And I'm also going to put all of Anthony's information, put his cell phone, his email. If you want to reach out to him, you want to send him a referral, you want to say congratulations on the 30 under 30, whatever. It'll all be there, and his free gift will be there. But I'm also going to put it in the Agent Success Toolbox, which is on hibandigital.com/toolbox, or you can text the word toolbox to 444-999. What'd you bring today?
So one thing that my team and I specialize in is we have a variable commission package that we have with all of our clients. So, you know, when sellers ask that question, how much do you charge? We don't have a simple straight up answer because we have 3 different commission packages you can choose from. We offer a 6, 6.5, and a 7% listing package. Believe it or not, 7 out of 10 of our clients choose our 6.5% listing package. And I'm going to upload to you guys' Toolbox our variable commission package so you guys have that. And if you want to know more about it, because I think when you see it, you're not going to understand why things are in certain places, reach out to me, email me, call me. That way you can get a better understanding of our variable commission package and how we present it to our clients to give you guys the best chance of, you know, making more money.
That's beautiful, buddy, and I'm excited to see that. Listen, Anthony, if I'm ever in Chula Vista, which I don't even know where it is, I got to look on a map, but if I'm ever there, we could get together and break some bread.
Yeah, so it's south of San Diego, 5 minutes from Mexico.
Yeah, 5 minutes from Mexico. Wow, that's amazing. All right, buddy. Well, good. Well, thanks so much for coming on, and I wish you the best of luck.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me. Dream come true.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Estate Rockstars. If this free content is giving you a ton of value, I want to ask a small favor in return. I need you to pull out your pointing finger and hit the subscribe button. Yes, hit subscribe, please. The more subscribers that we get on Real Estate Rockstars, the better guests are attracted to the shows. We'll get more guests from the top companies, from the top teams, and even more celebrity guests like Robert Kiyosaki and Barbara Corcoran. Also, if you're not a member of our free Facebook group, go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio right on Facebook and join the conversation. I'm on there myself on FaceTime Lives, and we have a lot of communications and questions about the show, and I'd love to see you there. And it's free. People ask me all the time, where am I on social media? I'm real easy to find. Just type in my name. My IG is I am Pat Hyben. It is blowing up on Instagram, adding tons of subscribers, and I'm on there probably twice a day. So definitely follow me on Instagram, as well as everywhere else. Thanks again for listening, and keep rocking.